also is part of the reason why I'm just like Simba and just can't wait to be king because of Robbinsog and not like Pride Rock as the Lion King. But back to what I was just saying, what I'm trying to say is that since I know that the ruler of Robbinsog is a true king or queen, that is why I want it to be it. The thing is that Dr. Marcacius and Sam and their kids come first, so I most likely will never be king. And even though I know that Sam doesn't want that position, Dr. Marcacius I know does. So even if Dr. Marcacius and Sam don't have kids, I know that Dr. Marcacius is going to occupy that position for a long time, since I doubt that I'm going to be king in my lifetime. But being a prince is nice. I can tell that Mommy and Daddy love being the rulers of Robbinsog. Part of that is as in love as they are, they seem more in love as they rule Robbinsog together. I think the fact they are ruled together is part of the same reason why they love each other so much and have such a happy marriage. There really isn't much of a reason for there really isn't much for them to rule over due to us Robins being the only inhabitants of Robbinsog. But they have made it clear that as us Robins being royalty, their spouses have to move in with them when we get older in order to get married, so a spouse must convert to becoming the rarest and treat their favorite color as divine. And dressing with a cloak in their favorite color, over them when they are in public. That gets me thinking, when it comes to what happened to me at recess, because I've never been a victim of a hate crime for how I dress at school before, the most I have ever gotten in regards to something like that is a weird look, and people always tended to look at me as I walk by, but my parents raised me to ignore that, because they raised me to hate society, because society doesn't treat people with autism nicely. And after what happened to me at recess, I definitely hate society for reasons outside of my autism. To be honest, I honestly think that I hate society more for reasons outside of my autism than I do for reasons that have to do with my autism. And an example of that is the United States. Us Robins hate the leader of the United States because while Mommy and Daddy have raised me to hate society, they have also explained to me to be very accepting of other cultures in the United States, because not everyone outside of Robbinsog is a bad person. And since the President of the United States isn't very accepting to other cultures, as they put it, think of how they were weirdos living in this world outside of Robbinsog, which is why I hate society more for reasons outside of autism than reasons involving autism. My parents have told me that is okay, and it is not. That is okay, because it is not that I'm saying this isn't real. If I told him I hate society for reasons outside of autism more than reasons with autism. Plus, as I have said before, the reason why I am raised to hate society is because of my autism. And the truth of the matter is that, as I have stated before, I don't hate everything that my autism has given to me. Because how else could I have ended up so smart and have developed such a close connection with my family who has autism and can understand me 100% of the time? One of the downsides to Hannah is that she doesn't have autism, which is a problem because she can't really connect to us, because even with that said, she actually can connect to us a little bit, because she has social anxiety, which she has explained to us is a disorder like autism. But for us, social anxiety comes with our autism. For Hannah, it doesn't come with anything. However, Hannah and I have said this before, but Hannah is very nice to her autism, and if we ask her to do something crazy because it is better for our sensory issues that way, because she has said that she was a psychology minor, and I don't know what that is, but at least she is useful for it according to my parents. Hannah's parents are also really nice to me. They were very nice to provide dinner for us from their bar when I was in the hospital the day I got hurt, which was so nice of them. The only thing about their parents which throws me off a little bit is that both of their parents are men. I asked my mommy about that because I don't know how she can exist if her parents are both men. What my mommy said in response was that she would tell me when I was over, and that I shouldn't let it throw me off because she said that when we were in the United States, there was something called staunch Democrats, and that because of that, we're not going to insult Hannah's parents for them both being men. I don't know what staunch Democrat is, and my mommy tried explaining it to me once, but I had difficulty understanding it, so I still figured I don't know what staunch Democrat is, but I'll try and figure that out when I am older, and saving mommy's life isn't a priority for me anymore. I don't really have many priorities right now, other than trying to save mommy, because I love my mommy more than anything else in the world. Like I said at the very beginning, the most essential thing about me is that I love my mommy, and I know that as much as my mommy loves me back, that I know that she loves my daddy more. But again, if daddy goes or family falls apart, and I can't let my family fall apart, and neither will Sam and Dr. Marcacius can let our family fall apart because of how essential we are to Robbinsog and ourselves. The thing, though, is about the word essential is that sometimes the most essential thing about fighting for essential things are what are going to end up turning us crazy. As with the case with Dr. Marcacius, because he is so obsessed with trying to save our mommy that he is beginning to lose his sanity. Same with Sam too, because the behavior that sent to the Polk Chore School is beginning to return to him, which is a problem because he really got that under control when he had his behavior under control. Almost like they were two totally different people, but slowly but surely that first of that an original person is beginning to return. I have that thought about the idea of the return not being an actual person is just an idea for us to return to insanity, which is a pretty intense idea for a 6-year-old like me to think about. But the truth of the matter is that ideas don't leave notes. People do. There is no way that the return cannot be a person. It has to be a person because only a person can leave us notes, and the thing is that it has to be because only a person can leave us notes, and the thing is that it has to be someone who knows exactly where our lockers are in our school. But the truth of the matter is, if it is not our parents, who could it be? Dr. Marcacius keeps telling us it is our mommy's estranged mommy, which means it is our grandmother, who claimed to have disappeared after our grandfather died because she went crazy. We never met our grandmother on that side of our family. My mommy has told me that if she hasn't appeared since she has disappeared, that she is most likely dead now. If she is not dead, then how does she know where our lockers are in our school buildings? That is what gets me, because the only people who know where our lockers are live with us and see us in the hallway as they walk by us in a locker while we or using them in the hallway. Plus, our grandmother has never met us, so how can she even know where they are? This whole situation is pretty scary, especially considering the fact that Dr. Marcacius was given the first note and he went up to Harrow Station to make sure it wasn't Hannah who left the note that our mommy tied me and Sam up in the ransom to get over to confess, which scared him badly. That is why we can't let them know about the return. Because at first, they said it was nothing, but the truth of the matter is, it is a lot more than that now, and we cannot let them know anything because they said that we were harassed like that again. Well, really, just Dr. Marcacius, because they only know about the note and nothing more. They will call the police, which is a problem because if they find out an innocent person could go to jail, which is a problem because the return has never threatened us, and that is why we are definitely not convinced that the return is a bad guy, and it is just that the return is very vague, which is a very scary thing, but as of right now, no one is hurt. So that is the sample of my life. I don't know exactly how sweet it is, because some days I am more happy than not, and some days I'm less happy than not. One thing I can guarantee will make my life sweeter will be in several weeks I finally get out of this wheelchair. It may be electric, but that still doesn't change the fact that as hard as my life already was, it just became a lot more harder because I'm not able to do more of what I want to do now that I am temporarily crippled. But I will be able to get things back on track in several weeks. The thing is, just that I'm going to need this to be in the wheelchair for my annual road trip to Orlando to visit my my grandparents on my dad's side. One thing that I guarantee is not sweet right now is our family situation, outside me being in wheelchair, of Sam being in a lot of debt, and Dr. Marcacius beginning to lose his sanity, with us trying to solve this, and me refusing to tell him to stop. But then again, I don't want to stop. We must do whatever we can to try and save our mommies, because if we don't, things are going to get really bad, which is a problem, because then our family will collapse, because our dad will die from devastation, and I will have to put myself in the hospital, because I won't be able to cuddle her anymore. So when it comes to determining the sweetness level of my life, we must figure out who is to return, and see how these next several weeks into a road trip to Orlando will go.